And inside the box, we lift open the cover, and there is, I'm not kidding you.
Hi, I'm Emily Groner with Everything Matters, and today we are at Pickaway Americana.
Well, there is a fantastic story behind the name. This lovely guy that was in the Navy, Harold Ruth, Greg's dad, was on the USS Pickaway ship. So when we were tossing names around, I don't know if you did it or...
Oh, I thought of it.
Oh, of course you thought of it. Anyway, that's how that name came about.
Well, my dad was an antique dealer, and for years, he'd take me to different auctions, drop me off, and I would buy different things. But I was always interested in buying different things. I bought a gold coin from him, just a variety of stuff that I was always interested in.
So talking about the picking, it was not only Greg, but his brother too, and they would be dropped off the beginning of the day. This is prior to cell phones, or I don't even think they wrote it on paper. And Harold would go around with the boys and say, this is what I'd like you to bid. And so these two young guys would be bidding on items and irritating all the little old ladies that were wanting things, because, you know, these kids had to pay attention. One of the recent picks he just did are these two Statue of Liberty pictures, bubble glass with reverse painting. And with them, I thought this note was super cool. This picture of the Statue of Liberty was brought back to Iowa from New York in 1919. A young soldier returning home from World War I. You just never know the connections you make and who's going to refer you to come pick. Well, there are a couple things in the shop at Current that I secretly hope doesn't sell. But as we state to everyone, everything is for sale. Even Greg on some days, because he's a very talented carpenter. But one thing, and I also say when people come in here, this chandelier is one of our showstoppers, I would say. And we got it. And this is very meaningful for me, from Shirley Stapleton. Another thing, if you want to follow me, call me crazy, because some people do. I super love the mid-century modern pink lamp with these shades. There's not only this one, but there's this one.
I found a piece in Ida Grove. I picked a Supreme Court Justice's house, Frank Lloyd Wright house in Ida Grove, where the father and the son were both Iowa Supreme Court justices. But anyway, the piece is, when I first looked at it, it was broken up a little bit, but I glued it back together. But it almost looks like it's plastic, but it is not. It's a very unique piece. It is from the late, maybe even early 1800s. But I didn't know what it was. I just thought
it was a mailbox.
Yes, I thought it was very unique. But it turns out it has these little compartments in here, and they slide out. But what got me the most was it locks. So I was trying to figure out why it would lock. Well, I couldn't figure it out, but I bought it anyway. So I did a little research, and I found out it's called a teapoy. And that's why it locked. They used to put a lot of weight behind their tea. It was very important, their tea. Now, I can't feature you coming to my house and me locking up my tea in this box, but they did it. They actually did it. So I contacted, I found one in Oregon that was similar, and I contacted the antique dealer, and he told me that the ship has sailed on teapoys. They used to be worth $2,500, but just a very unique piece that I found, and you just never know what you will find. Well, a lot of it comes from, I might buy everything you got in your basement. Or you might call me out, and I've had different ones call me and say, come look at all the stuff that I have in this room. So in those cases, it's just, I take everything. I buy everything. Then it's just figuring out where we put it in here.
Or some of their parents have passed and asked, they've taken what they want, and have asked us to clean the household out, which we do. It's a lot of work. Also does online auctions.
Yep, and then I do buy specific things for different people. If I know you're interested in something unique and I can find one, I'll see if I can pick one up reasonably.
And usually we do take names, numbers, and we will be on the lookout for it, because I mean, what's good about the partnership is we have different likes, and
Yes,
he'll bring
definitely.
something in and I'll like to the elevator, because I can't even deal with that piece right now. And so we call that Greg's Great Finds.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. And actually kind of gives me shivers up my spine. We had a gal come in, and she was into like goth and death related things. Like she liked pictures that had funeral like caskets, because they used to do that. And all of a sudden Greg clicked in there like, oh, I've got something for her. And I'd really actually forgotten about it. And there he whips out this big long box, and inside the box we lift open the cover, and there is, I'm not kidding you, a skeleton. Bones, like real bones. And they live in and remodeled a funeral home, and she was so excited to get that, and so was I to get it out of here.
But you have to understand that it was from the science room
I don't care.
in
It
Grand
was
Junction
gross.
at the school. It was from the school, so it was like,
But it's real bones.
Yes, it was real bones.
So it's out. Bye-bye.
I'm always looking for different things all the time, unique items. Recently, I got a 50-gallon crock that was actually broken, and I glued it back together, and we ended up selling it reasonably. But the intact 50-gallon crocks are about $2,500. So I'd love to find a 50-gallon crock.
I'd love to find something worth $1 million. I tell everyone here, because they go like, oh, I'm scared to bring my kids. And I usually say, we do not have anything that's worth $1 million. So I'm looking for the $1 million product. Unbelievable that we're turning 5, because we opened actually during COVID. It was a blessing, because we had lots of work to do.
It was a slow opening.
It was a slow opening.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had hosted a celebration of life, because the churches weren't allowing any families in at that time. And we have hosted all kinds of anniversaries and Christmas celebrations for families, and Thanksgiving and retirement parties. So we have found a way to get people in here and get some activity going. We have lots of work to do. We have this main floor, the porch area, second floor, and we're hoping to get people to the third
Eventually,
floor
we will open
soon.
the third floor.
But to celebrate
Yes.
a 5-year anniversary, we're going to float your boat. We're going to have root beer floats on Saturday, June 21st, and we'll have some kind of sweet treat on Friday, June 20th. So that's what we're going to do.
Probably the most interesting thing is all the people we've met and created new friendships that we've never had before. People that, we met them, and
They come from all over the place. And,
Yes.
and it's not our local people as much as it is
Yeah.
people from out of town that we've developed friendships with, and using our social media and trying to highlight things once a week, and trying to gather and have people come not only to our shop, but to other shops and downtown area, and to see what matters the most in Jefferson, which is all of us. I hope for more and continued friendships, and I hope that when I get to meet people that they say they've been referred by somebody else in town, so that you scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your back type of thing, and we all benefit from it. I'm going to hope that we can get to the third floor, because that is where people are really excited to go. Occasionally, they like to go where I call the dungeon, which is Greg's work area, and that is a hazard zone. So do you have anything to put in with that?
I'm not excited about doing third floor. Yeah, I just picked this up here last week. A very unique item. I have a pretty good idea what it is, but
Well, let's hear what your idea is.
well, I think it has to do with threading rope
Threading
or
rope.
making rope. I think
rope.
you spun this and threaded the rope, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't guarantee that.
I'm going to guess that I could poke this in the ground and tie you up by the waist and keep you in one spot.
Yeah.
Well, we need help. And that's what we learn a lot too from people is what things are or what they used them for back in the day.